Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to take you through today's topic because we're looking at something that honestly defies belief, and yet it's right here on our very own planet. Just think about this grand premise for a second. A staggering 71% of our planet is covered by water. 71%! The vast majority of Earth is just ocean. And despite all our technology, this massive realm remains fundamentally unseen by human eyes. It is the ultimate unmapped frontier. We're talking about a place of ancient mysteries and profound, absolute darkness.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the irony here is just shocking. We have mapped the surface of Mars more completely than we have mapped our own ocean floor. Think about how wild that is. We actually have a clearer, more detailed picture of a neighboring alien planet millions of miles away across the vacuum of space than we do of the ground lying right beneath our own oceans. We are intimately familiar with the dry dust of Mars, while an entire aquatic world, right here at home, remains completely hidden.
So, that naturally leads us to the big one, the central gripping question of this explainer. What exactly lies beneath the darkness? Beneath miles of freezing water, there are mountains that completely dwarf our highest peaks, and valleys deeper than any canyon on land. So today, we aren't just looking at boring data. We are taking a spatial descent. We are going to plunge straight down into what is literally an alien world on Earth, uncovering these layers as we drop deeper and deeper into the abyss.
Part 1. The Twilight Zone. As we start our descent, we leave the familiar sunlit surface behind. Right as we cross the 200-meter marker, something profound happens. Sunlight dies completely. The vibrant blue water fades into deep blacks. And life down here? Well, it's forced to adapt in the most extraordinary ways imaginable just to navigate and survive.
Because the sun can't reach them, the creatures of the Twilight Zone basically just decided to bring their own flashlights. And this brilliantly illustrates nature's surreal adaptability. We see things like the lanternfish, the firefly squid, and bioluminescent jellyfish pulsing in the dark like living, breathing stars. They use chemical reactions inside their own bodies to create light, literally turning pitch-black water into this glowing underwater galaxy. But we're not stopping here.
Boom! 1,000 meters down. We are violently shifting our perspective deeper now. With this rapid-fire plunge, a real rhythmic sense of dread and awe starts to set in. Up here, the light is just a distant memory. The water is brutally freezing, and the sheer physical weight of the ocean above us is becoming almost incomprehensible.
Just to put that into perspective, at 1,000 meters down, the pressure is 100 times greater than at the surface. That is enough force to instantly crush a human body. It's roughly the equivalent of having a full-grown elephant standing entirely on your thumb. It is an environment of sheer, unapologetic hostility. You'd think absolutely nothing could exist under that kind of devastating force, but against all odds, life finds a way.
Part 2. The Midnight Zone. We are now a staggering 4 kilometers down. The water is just barely above freezing, and the silence is absolute. It's totally dark. And yet, right in the middle of this freezing blackness, we find this shocking temperature, 400 degrees Celsius. Down here, the ocean floor literally cracks open with underwater volcanoes, creating hydrothermal vents that blast out superheated toxic water right into the freezing desert. And around these searing vents, we witness a genuine biological miracle called chemosynthesis. It is an entire ecosystem, powered solely by the heat of the Earth itself, completely without sunlight or photosynthesis. Enormous tube worms, giant pale crabs, and ghost-like shrimp have built an entire world independent of the sun. They pull their energy from the raw, violent volcanic chemistry of our planet's core.
Part 3. The Lost Mountains.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because right beneath your feet, whether you're sitting in New York, Tokyo, or anywhere else, there's a massive hidden wonder called the Mid-Ocean Ridge. It is a continuous mountain range that is 65,000 kilometers long. That is vastly larger than the Andes or the Himalayas. It's a sprawling global landscape of lost worlds stacked upon lost worlds, totally hidden from our view and almost completely unexplored.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the wildlife. Because we haven't mapped these lost mountains, they are home to enormous, completely alien-looking creatures silently drifting through the dark. And if you were to capture one of these translucent giants today, the reality is science has no name for it yet. We haven't even scratched the surface of classifying the sheer volume of life existing on this ridge.
Part 4. The Deepest Point.
We have finally arrived at the absolute bottom of the Earth.
the Hadal Zone, specifically the Mariana Trench, nearly 11 kilometers deep. To truly wrap your head around this incomprehensible depth, let's look at a stark comparison. If you were to drop Mount Everest straight down into this trench, not only would it fit perfectly, but the very peak of the mountain would still be submerged under more than 2 kilometers of water. That is how easily the highest point on Earth is completely swallowed up by the trench.
Because of this extreme depth and mind-bending pressure, the number of human-piloted vessels that have ever reached this absolute bottom is just 3. 3! In all of human history. We have literally sent far more people to walk on the moon than we have sent down to the bottom of our own planet.
But when those rare vessels did touch down, their lights pierced the vast darkness, and they found something incredible: life. Even here, in the most isolated, hostile place on the planet, they found single-celled organisms and small crustaceans known as amphipods, just alive and thriving. It proves that life does not ask for permission. Given even the slimmest chance, no matter how extreme, it survives and it thrives.
Part 5. The 80% Mystery. So, the crucial point is this. As we reflect on this vastness, you realize how much remains completely undiscovered. Despite all our modern technology, we have explored less than 20% of Earth's ocean floor. That means 80% of it remains unmapped and unknown. The lost world beneath our ocean is not some historical mystery from the past. It is an undeniable visual reality and a massive mystery of right now.
Which leaves us with this final, profound thought to take away from our explainer today. Somewhere down there, right this very second, in the freezing cold, the crushing pressure, and the absolute silence, what extraordinary thing is happening in the dark that no human has ever witnessed? Our planet hides an entire universe waiting to be found. Keep wondering, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.